Real class is being redefined in first class at LAX. Sandra Bullock turns heads amid the crowd with her simple travel attire and modest hat. In an environment dominated by luxury and ostentation, a woman decked out in flashy brands and exuding arrogance whispers sarcastic remarks about Sandra's relaxed style. At that very moment, the quiet and humble Keanu Reeves appears with a warm smile, practically enchanting the cabin. This unforgettable moment, showcasing what true class really means, highlights the importance of human values beyond mere luxury. Hey, if you like this story, subscribe now, because you'll see that true class isn't about expensive brands. It's all about sincerity, respect, and genuine warmth. At the crowded terminal of Los Angeles International Airport, LAX, the first-class cabin, where luxury and comfort reigned, had transformed into a scene where different worlds intersected. In this setting, Sandra Bullock waited quietly in simple travel clothes, a comfortable pair of joggers, and a plain baseball cap, standing out with her genuine warmth and natural elegance amidst the flashy, over-the-top display around her. Her face, untouched by makeup, radiated sincerity, and the experience and peace of years shone in her eyes. Immersed in her book and calmly passing the time, she seemed lost in her own little world, despite the hustle and bustle surrounding her. Directly across from her, Margaret Winchester, who set the standard for first class, drew attention as a figure draped in the finest examples of luxury brands. Adorned in Chanel and other high-end labels, with impeccably styled hair and sparkling jewelry, Margaret sent a clear message to everyone around: "I'm here, and I'm different." Her slightly mocking smile and critical glances subtly belittled Sandra's unassuming look. Even amid the cacophony of the airport, Margaret's tone and gestures resonated, prompting fellow travelers to watch this silent standoff with keen interest. In that moment, amid the chaos of the LAX terminal, a quiet encounter unfolded that illustrated the true meaning of class and sincerity. While Sandra maintained her humility and natural beauty, Margaret reminded everyone that true value lies beyond superficial luxury. This moment would spark a subtle shiver in the hearts of everyone in the first-class cabin and provoke deep reflection, proving that real class is born not from expensive labels, but from the warmth, respect, and humility within a person. In the luxurious first-class cabin of LAX's bustling terminal, Sandra Bullock had quietly taken her place in the corner, spending peaceful moments lost in her book. Clad in a simple outfit, a pair of comfortable black leggings, a loose sweater, and sneakers, she radiated sincerity and humility. While her eyes were immersed in deep thought, she moved through her own little world with calm assurance, a stark contrast to the flashy opulence that surrounded her. Right across from her, Margaret Winchester, the epitome of meticulously curated extravagance and ostentation in first class, commanded attention. Dressed in the chic elegance of Chanel and other prestigious brands, Margaret observed Sandra's understated attire with a subtly mocking smile and a hint of disdain. Whispering to her companion, she remarked, "Can you believe what first class has come down to these days? There used to be standards," clearly insinuating that true class meant more than just luxury. Other passengers began to take notice of this silent standoff, exchanging curious glances as the tension permeated the hectic atmosphere of the terminal. When boarding commenced, Margaret strategically positioned herself directly opposite Sandra's seat, drawing all eyes with her expensive handbag and luxurious luggage. As Sandra calmly stowed her bags in the overhead compartment with a gentle smile, Margaret's voice rang out across the cabin. "Sweetheart, I think you're in the wrong section. Economy is waiting a bit further back," she said in a sarcastic tone, her cutting words echoing among the other travelers. That remark seemed to freeze the air in the cabin. While everyone wondered how this confrontation would unfold, Sandra's cool composure and inner peace remained evident. Without taking her eyes off her book, she offered a gentle, determined smile, as if to say, "I'm here because I come with comfort and authenticity." In that moment, a silent clash unfolded, clearly delineating the difference between ostentatious luxury and genuine elegance. As fellow passengers raised their eyebrows at Margaret's haughty behavior, the contrast between Sandra's natural grace and the extravagant display around her unsettled the dynamic of the first-class cabin. This initial clash would come to herald an unforgettable lesson on what true class really means. In the midst of the stylish chaos, an undeniable reminder was taking shape, that beyond mere high-end labels and status, sincerity and humility hold the utmost value. Amid rising tension and subtle sarcasm in first class, a man in a simple black jacket, previously unnoticed, suddenly stepped into the corridor. Unlike the chic, ostentatious atmosphere of the airport cabin, his presence exuded calm, sincerity, and humility. His eyes carefully observed the surrounding chaos, especially the silent standoff between Sandra Bullock and Margaret Winchester. As he continued on his way, his presence seemed to spread tranquility among the murmuring passengers, as if his very being had the power to dissolve all prejudices. Finally, when he reached the space directly between Sandra and Margaret, he leaned toward Sandra with a warm smile and offered her a friendly embrace. This heartfelt gesture took the entire first-class cabin's breath away. "Hey, Sandra," he said in a familiar, gentle tone. "I noticed you at the door. Real class isn't found in expensive labels. It lies in the sincerity of your heart." His words instantly dissolved the lingering tension, drawing everyone's attention. Margaret, unable to comprehend this unexpected intervention in her world of ostentation, wore a brief expression of surprise mixed with embarrassment. Meanwhile, the other passengers began to see this moment as a powerful lesson in rethinking what true elegance really means. Known as Keanu Reeves, this man, with his calm and gracious demeanor, left an indelible mark not only on Sandra, but on the hearts of all the first-class travelers. In that moment, it was reaffirmed that beyond expensive brands and flashy appearances, the values of sincerity, respect, and humanity are what truly define class. Before long, a near silence fell over the cabin, a silence that sparked deep reflection on the essence of true class. In the wake of that heartfelt moment, everyone began questioning their own prejudices, realizing that real value lies far beyond material things. Keanu Reeves's simple yet powerful gesture became an unforgettable lesson etched in the memories of all in first class. Tensions in the first-class cabin reached a boiling point with Margaret Winchester's sarcastic remarks, and the atmosphere began to freeze into an icy silence. Influenced by luxury brands and ostentatious accessories, Margaret mocked Sandra Bullock's simple, sincere appearance, exclaiming, "Ah, truly, it's so wonderful to be this comfortable in first class." Her voice rang out, and as the surrounding passengers exchanged glances and raised their eyebrows, the lingering tension in the air only grew. Sandra continued turning the pages of her book, her eyes still reflecting traces of calm. Yet the weight of the moment deeply affected everyone. At that very moment, amidst the murmurs spreading through several rows of the cabin, Keanu Reeves appeared once again. Following his earlier heartfelt gesture, He now brought tranquility to the space with his composed demeanor and warm gaze. In a soft yet authoritative tone, he began, "True class isn't about expensive labels. It's found in the heart, in respect, and in sincerity." These words elicited a fleeting look of surprise on Margaret's face, soon replaced by hints of shame. Keanu's message touched the hearts of everyone in the cabin, reminding them once more of what real value truly is beyond luxury. After a while, Margaret began to lose the haughty stance she once carried. The harshness in her voice softened into a tremulous sorrow. In that moment, the atmosphere in the airport cabin shifted dramatically. The looks exchanged among the passengers turned from those of admiration for ostentatious luxury and cold prejudices to a heightened awareness of genuine human values. Margaret, lowering her head slightly, murmured, "Perhaps I misunderstood. True class is really this," as if signaling the breaking down of the hardened walls around her heart, her voice rising in a gentle apology. The silent nod from her companion further underscored the significance of this heartfelt confession. Keanu Reeves's calm and sincere intervention not only affected Sandra but left an indelible lesson on the entire cabin. True elegance isn't about appearances. It lies in one's heart, actions, and mutual respect. This moment became etched in everyone's memory, for each person in first class had now learned what real class truly means. As the plane slowly touched down at Los Angeles International Airport, a clear change had taken hold in the first-class cabin. Margaret Winchester, once brimming with haughty airs and sarcastic remarks, now sat shrouded in silence, overcome by a mix of shame and regret. Along with her companion, she began to feel the weight of the moment, questioning what true class really meant beyond mere luxury. Sandra Bullock, meanwhile, maintained her calm and genuine demeanor as she gently closed her book. Her eyes no longer reflected fatigue, but instead shone with inner peace and a spark of hope. Keanu Reeves's sincere intervention had profoundly affected everyone on board, reminding them that real class isn't measured solely by appearances, but by what resides in the heart, by respect and genuine warmth. At the moment of landing, as the airplane doors opened and passengers began to say their goodbyes, Keanu gently touched Sandra's shoulder and said, "True class isn't about the luxury you possess. It's measured by the values you carry in your heart." His words echoed down the airport corridors, and even Margaret's eyes seemed to light up with understanding. The mocking words she had once spoken gave way to a quiet internal shudder and an apologetic silence. Lowering her head, Margaret whispered, "Perhaps I was mistaken. True values aren't found on labels. They reside in the heart." In that instant, every passenger on the plane felt the sincerity of that confession and the transformative change it signified. Shortly afterward, Margaret's companion silently nodded, signaling a shared understanding that humanity, respect, and compassion should always come first, far above ostentatious luxury. As they disembarked, Sandra, Keanu, and even Margaret gathered by the aircraft door. Amid warm farewells and the buzz of social media posts capturing the moment, everyone was reminded that true class is experienced through sincerity and humility. This unforgettable encounter, set against the hectic backdrop of the airport, once again underscored the immense value of respect and genuine human connection. In the end, the transformation witnessed in the cabin inspired even those watching. The message that true class isn't found in one's attire, but in the heart, resonated deeply with all. The memorable moments from that flight at LAX not only redefined a single journey, but also paved the way for a renewed understanding of life and human relationships. As soon as the plane landed, the unforgettable moments experienced in the first-class cabin were not confined to just those on board. A few brave passengers captured that genuine moment on their phone cameras, and the video instantly became a social media sensation. Under the hashtag #WhatIsRealClass, thousands of tweets were posted, while short clips shared on Instagram and Facebook reached millions of views. Users praised Sandra Bullock for the sincerity she displayed in her simple, natural state, and lauded Keanu Reeves for the grace he showed in confronting cold prejudices. The message, "True elegance lies not in expensive brands, but in the heart," adorned the majority of comments on the viral video. Many viewers questioned Margaret Winchester's harsh, mocking demeanor and emphasized that true class is found in a person's inner values. Media outlets and popular culture magazines reported on this encounter under headlines like "A True Transformation at the Airport," while social media influencers shared their posts using the hashtag Gems of True Class. The discussions once again highlighted how important human values, such as respect, humility, and sincerity, are, transcending mere luxury and status. Inspired by this story, many viewers expressed that they should place greater importance on inner authenticity, respect for others, and the values held in their hearts, rather than on outward appearances. In post-flight interviews, several passengers summarized the experience by saying, "Today, we learned what real class is." The powerful echoes of social media transformed the quiet revolution in the airport cabin into a global movement of awareness. Real class was shown not in luxury labels, but in heartfelt respect and genuine sincerity. This viral effect went beyond a single flight, prompting a deep re-examination and rethinking of society's value system. After the flight, as everyone returned to their own worlds, the genuine interaction between Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves left indelible marks on the hearts of the remaining passengers. Sandra, with the calm and natural elegance she displayed in the cabin, wholeheartedly proved the importance of preserving inner strength and living by true values. That moment became a legend, not only on the plane, but also on social media, in television interviews, and in everyday conversations. On that day, Keanu Reeves demonstrated more than just a friendly demeanor on the flight. He also exemplified a life philosophy that served as an inspiration to others. His calm yet authoritative words, "True class comes from the heart," resonated with both celebrities and ordinary people alike. It highlighted that even the famous sometimes need an inner transformation, and that acknowledging and learning from one's mistakes is incredibly valuable. Margaret Winchester, on the other hand, after her initial display of arrogance, experienced an inner upheaval that made her realize that true values extend far beyond material possessions. Prompted by critical social media comments and press reviews, she embarked on a long journey of self-reflection, reassessing her own behavior. Margaret's transformation showed everyone just how noble it is to learn from one's mistakes and achieve an inner victory. Inspired by the exemplary actions of Sandra and Keanu, people began taking similar steps in their own lives. They came to understand once again that true success isn't measured by external labels or a luxurious lifestyle, but by the sincere relationships we build and the inner peace we nurture. This chapter clearly conveyed to its audience the crucial importance of personal transformation and inner triumph, reminding everyone that true class is found not in outward appearances, but in the heart and in our actions. Everyone started to feel the impact of this unforgettable lesson in their own lives, because sometimes the greatest victory is achieved when one confronts the darkness within and takes a step toward the light. After the flight ended and the passengers began to leave the airport, the unforgettable moments that unfolded in the first-class cabin transformed into a legacy that spoke to the world about how true class is manifested through sincerity and humility, no longer merely a flight story. Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves, through their behavior on that day, etched an everlasting impression, not only with their actions during the flight, but also with a universal message about humanity. As the airplane doors opened and videos and comments began circulating on social media, the true meaning of real values was laid bare. People learned that beyond expensive brands and ostentation, genuine luxury resides in the sincerity, respect, and honesty carried in one's heart. Media outlets, under headlines like "The Legacy of True Class," celebrated the story, inspiring everyone, from celebrities to ordinary people, to prioritize these values in their own lives. Margaret Winchester's own inner transformation demonstrated to her and the onlookers that it is possible to make amends for past mistakes, and that true strength and greatness lie in humility. That moment became an unforgettable lesson and a lasting legacy for every individual on the flight. Sandra and Keanu not only embodied this legacy in their own lives, but also became a source of inspiration for everyone around them. True class evolved into a value measured not by external luxury, but by the depth of one's heart, behavior, and inner peace. As people listened to and watched this story unfold, they realized how even the smallest, yet meaningful, gestures in everyday life can change the world. The true legacy lies not in outward appearances, but in the genuine human values we display. In the end, this unforgettable moment at LAX transcended a mere flight, embedding itself as a timeless lesson with lasting marks of real class, shared with the entire world. And everyone, following in Sandra and Keanu's footsteps, would continue to uphold these values in their own lives, because true class lives on in the heart forever.